Like the Sesame Street song used to say, one of these things is not like the others. Although, it's a bit hard just by looking at them to tell which one's not like the others and what is different about it. What we're looking at is what we should call, I guess, micro compacts. 9 millimeters, each and every one of them. There are half a dozen of them here. They are all in the same size range. As you can tell, they have a little bit of differing length, but they look like they're all real close in thickness. Obviously, they're going to be pretty close in weight. And one of the things that most of these share is the capacity of either 6 or 7 rounds in the magazine, except for one. This one right here. This one goes to 11. Yep, as we have discussed, the P365, the new small miracle 9mm from SIG Sauer, holds 10 rounds in the standard magazine, and one in the chamber makes it 11. That is truly innovative, and we haven't seen a whole lot of innovation, in my opinion, in the firearms market recently, especially in the micro 9 category. It's just been a lot of Me Too. However, this one really does shatter the mold. So a lot of people preach, and I'm usually one of them, that you should shoot your carry gun frequently throughout the year, maybe even every time you go out to the range. At least put a few rounds through it. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This tiny little SIG Sauer P365. Ever since I did the first 100 a few weeks ago, this has been in the waistband. This has been my carry gun. So I'm going to put some more rounds through it today, and I'm going to try and do a deeper dive review. So in the comments of my first 100 video for the 365, somebody recently requested, hey, put some 115 grain through it. I just put 124 and 147 through it during that first 100. So I'm going to shoot a whole bunch of 115 grain. Today I'm going to start out by just breaking the gun in a little bit. Then I'm going to do some accuracy testing with various carry loads. Once again, slide did not lock back on the last round of the flush magazine. Moving on now to the 10 round with the pinky extension magazine. Also shooting for the first time this gun with the Talon grip on it. And I like the way that makes it feel. Round magazine now, and the 12 round magazine, the extended base plate, has a rubberized Talon on it now. So now, full Talon, full grip with the Talon. Okay, the jury is still out on this flush mount 10 round magazine. Sometimes it doesn't lock the slide back, and sometimes it does. I thought I had eliminated myself as a possible part of that problem as far as grip, you know, whether my thumb was riding the slide or anything. I don't believe I am a culprit. However, I don't know. I'm gonna have to pay real close attention each time I shoot it. And right now I have that magazine in here. I'm just shooting 115 grain MagTech ammo. Bargain stuff. Downrange about 12 or 13 yards. It's a small steel target. excellent AR-550 from Tactical AR-500 targets. You can save a lot of money if you look at down below this video and use my discount code. All right, slide locked back. Talon grip does make a nice difference. I like it. Also like that you can close the slide with your thumb. Random tractor riding around. 12 round extended magazine. Got a few more of these on order. I hope I get them soon. Makes range days a lot more fun. Also, you can put that Talon grip around the base plate on the 12 round magazine and have a really extended rubberized Talon grip, which I like a lot. Awesome. Let's see how it shoots. Aluminum cased Blazer, aluminum cased ammo, 115 grain full metal jacket. No problems at all. All right, how about steel cased ammo? Tula, steel cased. No problem. Just a mixture now of Herder Select, one of my favorite range ammos, and some more MagTech. Man, this thing shoots great with one hand. Almost better than with two. And again, did not lock back. Really need to look into that. Very, very intermittent with this one magazine. So far though, I have isolated it, I think, to being just this one mag. Sometimes it locks back, sometimes it does not. All right, so let's identify the other 5 guns that I'm comparing this one to. And no, this is not going to be a comparison video. That would be way too lengthy. We will get around to that, probably not for each one of these, but we'll pick out a few. Starting over here, this is the Ruger LC9 Pro. Next to it, the Car PM9. Next to that, the Beretta Nano. Over here, the Glock 43, and next to that, of course, the Smith & Wesson 9mm Shield. So these are all pistols that are absolutely in the category of best-in-class, micro 9, slim, concealed carry. Each one of these holds a maximum of 7 rounds in the magazine. Some of them hold 6 rounds in the magazine. This one holds 10 rounds in the flush mount magazine. That is considerably different. And yet, it is every bit as tiny and smaller, in fact, than some of them. I'll put it back down here and we can take another look with it lined up. You can see that it is definitely shorter than a number of the other guns, and it is every bit as thin as all of them, I think. I have had a request to compare it to the Nano. That's an interesting idea because size-wise, they're nearly identical in length and height. So that would be probably a pretty fun comparison to do, so I think I may do that. But certainly I'm going to compare it probably to several of these guns over time. It is the 365, and the idea is that you carry it 365 days a year, certainly small enough to accommodate that. So I'm going to try and review this gun over the course of 365 days. Just checking in here and there with it as we go. This is part 1 of a deep dive review into the gun. I say part 1 because I've had a little bit of problems or snafus with the 10-round magazines. They don't always lock the slide back on after the last round. So I'm trying to work on that, figure out why that might be. I'm trying to eliminate any error I might be doing. That's always a possibility. So I'm trying to work with that, and I'm trying to pick the brain of the folks at SIG, see what we can come up with. So depending on where I get to with that in the very near future, I may release a part 1 and a part 2. Now this is what people are referring to as the Gen 2 P365, and that is the first batch went out and they had a little bit of problems with them, and they released a second batch, which I think is just now starting to really begin to fill the pipeline. So get out there and look for one at your store near you and make a request if you don't find it, because you're going to want to check this thing out. Okay, well, now the 10-round pinky extension mag did not lock the slide back. So we have expanded that a little bit. I'm going to try and eliminate myself, go one-handed. No way I can be riding the slide, shooting one-handed. Now, I'm not really counting either, as you can tell. So slide not locking back with the 10-round magazines, except for sometimes. Sometimes it do, and sometimes it don't. The 12-round magazine, I don't think, has yet given me that problem. So maybe I just jinxed it. Let's find out. Staying with one hand, though. So I want to be sure I'm not riding the slide. Okay. Well, 12 rounder seems to work every time. Locked her open that time. That was the flush magazine. And we're going to the pinky extension magazine, still the 10 rounder. Nope, I thought so. That time I was counting. Pinky extension now, 10 round, did not lock the slide back. Okay, when you seat the magazine, fully loaded magazine in the gun with the slide closed, you definitely need to give it a good wrap with the heel of your hand. Well, all right, so we locked the slide back with 1 round left. So a little bit of issues with the slide locking back or not locking back, as the case may be, in both directions with different magazines. So that needs a little bit more research. I'm going to work on trying to figure out what's going on with that. I may talk to the folks at SIG and see if they have experienced anything similar or have reports of anything similar and have any ideas on that as well. So stick around while I work on that. Meanwhile, in every other way, this thing is amazing, absolutely phenomenal to shoot. I love the Talon rubberized grip. You know I love them anyway, and so that should come as no real surprise to anybody. You can see it on my hat. But the gun shoots incredibly nicely one-handed. I'm actually having a good time shooting this gun with just my strong hand. As small as it is and as peppy as it is, it almost feels like it handles better with one hand than it does with two. Maybe because you're not, sometimes when you're trying to control something more, you feel it. You know, if you're trying to control the recoil, you actually feel the recoil more. You're more sensitized to it. In this case with one hand, you know, you just have that natural elbow shock absorber going, and it rolls nice. I like it. I like shooting it with one hand. Now, if I can just get to where I can hit my target really good with one hand, be in good shape. Hornady, critical duty. SIG Sauer, V-Crown, 124 grain. Spear, gold dot. Next up, Federal Hydroshock, 124 grain. American Gunner from Hornady, 115 grain. Okay. Notice the slide did lock back on the flush mount magazine. For those of you keeping score on that. Okay, some of you have asked about how this thing fits in the DeSantis pocket holster. Well, there you go. DeSantis Nemesis pocket holster. Wait, show you too. So this is definitely a good alternate form of carry, and this gun fits in it just about as tiny as any of them do. Smaller than the Glock, smaller than the Shield. The Shield is almost too big for pocket carry for me. Glock 43 was kind of the maximum, and this one comfortably inside that dimension. So the rear sights are about halfway down inside the holster, so that, you know, for reference for your gun, if you're playing along at home trying to make comparisons, and you can see there where it fits this way. So yeah, DeSantis pocket holster absolutely is a go with the 365. One of the things I haven't been able to decide for sure is a go with the 365 is locking back the slide after the last shot on the 10-round magazines. Mostly this flush mount magazine, but also I've had it happen with the Pinky extension 10-round magazines. I don't think I've had it happen at all with the 12-round extended magazine. So I'm going to do a little bit more testing. This has been my carry gun since I came out and put the first shots through it, but if I don't get that problem resolved, that may impact its status as the carry gun, because I don't always count my shots when I'm shooting anything. The time lost on a reload when you don't have the slide lock back, to me, is significant. So anyway, having said that, I'm going to try something a little different. I shot the gun one-handed, and we saw the results of that. And so I'm going to shoot the gun left-handed but supported. How weird does that sound? So that was a request from SIG Sauer. One of the guys at SIG requested I shoot the gun left-handed, supported. I'm not even sure I know how to do that because it feels really, really weird. So once my finger is on the trigger, it can't possibly be riding the controls, and hopefully we're going to see that my thumb is not riding the slide. So you guys over on this side, you pay attention and make sure my thumb is not riding the slide. And you guys over on this side, you pay attention and make sure my fingers are all where they're supposed to be. Let's see what happens. I got 11 rounds in this thing. It is literally right out of the pocket from carry. So left hand supported. Man, this feels strange. Let's see what we got. Okay, slide locked back. What does that prove? Unfortunately, it doesn't prove anything because it was an intermittent problem. So now I'm going to use the other 10 round magazine with the pinky extension. I'm going to go back to my right hand, but I'm going to do one hand only. Okay, slide locked open. Again, shooting with one hand, there's no way that I can be riding the slide or the controls. The only possibility there would be that I'm limp wristing. I really don't think I am. If any of you guys think I am, let me know. Sometimes the camera sees what I'm doing a lot better than I think I see what I'm doing. One hand still with the 12 round magazine. Now, you know what? 12 round magazine has never given me a problem. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it both hands. If it locks back, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My regular grip. Well, there you go. So 100% success with those 3 magazines, and I just blew through all of my carry ammo. Now I got to go reload with something. Okay, I shot up all my 124 grain V-Crown SIG Sauer Elite Performance. That's my carry ammo. So now I'm going to move on to just some 115 grain ball, and I'm going to use only the flush mount 10 round magazine. I'm just going to keep reloading it for a while, not all day, but run a few mags full through of just the flat-based 10 rounder. Because that's the one that seems like it's been the most problematic. No problems there. 10 more rounds. Mag Tech is what I'm shooting right now. 115 grain ball. Well, at 12 yards, I can pick off that hostage target really well. Man, I love these sights. I love this gun. Wah, wah, wah. There we go. Didn't lock back. Now, let's rewind that footage. Was I doing anything? We got cameras on both sides of my hands. Was I doing anything that could have impaired with that? Okay, I'm sticking with the ball ammo 115 grain and just this one magazine that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. 10 rounds at a time. Let's keep going. Now, one of the things I've thought about, am I doing anything with my grip where I'm putting any kind of pressure on the base plate of the magazine that's either shoving it up, moving it down, twisting it from side to side, anything like that that might be intermittently causing just the slightest difference of where that follower is hitting that lift tab for the slide lock. But I would like to know that academically, but I would not accept that as a satisfactory situation. But I don't know. Let's keep going. So I've got 10 more rounds in here. Let's shoot them again. Locked open. And I don't feel like I'm doing anything different one time versus another. I wish I had another one of these magazines. I actually did order another one. I have it coming. Doesn't help us today though, does it? And again, let's try, I'm gonna try one hand. Okay, did not lock open. One hand. So tell me, boys and girls, with one hand, how I could be riding the slide, or the slide stop, or the takedown lever, or anything else. Couldn't, could I? But it always, 100% of the time, it locks back very easily when you just pull the slide back manually. It's only during live fire that I can get that to occur. The gun does beat up the thumb knuckle just a little bit. Here we go again, 10 more. One hand, I'm shooting one hand. And I am not limp wristing, I'm telling you that right now. I got my arm locked out. Okay, so elbow locked, body forward, wrist locked, no limp wristing. One hand, impossible to be riding the slide or any of the controls. Are you guys getting as tired of watching me test this as I'm getting testing it? Well, I have to be honest. I love this gun. I absolutely adore this pistol, and I like it so much I don't mind doing all this testing. It's sort of like when I have to put miles on my Camaro. And that time we did lock open. I don't know, man. You tell me, is there something I'm doing that's causing that? And I'm not saying that to be sarcastic, because, you know, I can't always perceive what I might be doing. But I sure don't feel like I'm doing anything that's causing that. One hand again. At least I'm getting a lot of good practical practice here. Okay, so we'll end on that note. So that was about, man, it was almost 100 rounds I just put through this thing, doing this additional testing. And you can see that sometimes it locks back, and most of the time it does not, with this flush mount magazine. So, like I said, I did order another one. I think I found them in stock at Midway USA, and I actually ordered another one of these 10-round flush mount magazines, which I should have soon. So, stick around for part 2 of the deep dive. I'm going to end it here on this, and I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to talk to SIG a little bit more, see if we can get this figured out, and I will report back to you in deep dive part 2.